Hello everyone, this is POW Weather coming at you with another update. In this update, we're going to be talking about severe cold with an ice storm and heavy snow. So before I do get started, if you do like weather-related content, please subscribe to my channel as I will upload daily updates to keep you ahead of the storm. And I do ask you to share this video with your friends and family on social media. All right. So let's get started. Let's start off with the overall winter weather advisories right now. We've got a lot to cover in this update. This is going to be over the next 7 days, so be sure to stay with me till the end because we got a lot of important stuff to cover. Winter weather advisories going on right now and portions of Washington. Winter storm warnings in New Mexico as well as Colorado. And then we also have winter weather advisories in Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri, parts of Arkansas, going up to Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, as well as Kentucky, and then getting into Ohio, Pennsylvania, as well as into parts of the Northeast. And this will actually expand as a system is coming into the Northeast later on tomorrow into Wednesday. So let me kind of take you through the surface maps kind of day by day and watch and kind of how this all plays out. There's going to be 3 cold fronts this week: Tuesday, Thursday, and a very strong cold front on Saturday. So let me kind of walk you through. Here's overnight tonight, going in tomorrow morning on Tuesday the 9th. We've got developing ice over Oklahoma, getting into portions of Arkansas here and Missouri, and then snow to the north into Illinois, and then a little bit heavier snow as it starts to band together into Indiana as well as Ohio, and then rain to the south. Let's look at your temperatures with that first initial front. These are high temperatures, afternoon temperatures on Tuesday, February the 9th. We're dropping down to 40 degrees. That is just your high in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. It's still widespread 70s down south into Houston as well as Florida. And you can see a lot of that Arctic air is bundled up to the north. They've got below zero high temperatures and then teens for your north central U.S. So now let's kind of take you through into Wednesday. So as Wednesday cools around, as that colder air, that first initial push further south, we've got those overrunning conditions going on in Oklahoma. So that's going to create some ice, unfortunately, into portions of the Texas Panhandle, going into Oklahoma, again, portions of Missouri into Arkansas, and then snow to the north as this continues moving across. And then as that colder air presses, still only a high of 41 degrees in Dallas. That colder air still well up to the north. So you have not experienced the Arctic air yet. Well down south, we still got widespread teens for the central U.S., and then 30s and 40s for highs into Nevada, going into Oregon, and then 70s down here in New Mexico as well as Arizona. So as we kind of continue through on the day on Thursday, that colder air will continue sinking a little bit further south, bringing the freezing line into portions of, say, Wichita Falls. We're going to get some, say, freezing drizzle starting to intrude into the Dallas-Fort Worth area. That ice sinks a little bit further south into portions of Arkansas now, and a little bit heavier ice going on in Kentucky as well as portions of Tennessee. And then as this moves across, we'll start to see some heavier snows playing out in West Virginia, going into, say, Baltimore, into D.C., and that will continue moving across into Delaware and places of southern PA by the time Thursday morning rolls around. And then as we get into Thursday afternoon, then we have our second cold front. That second cold front will continue to shift that shallow Arctic air a little bit further south. Now we're only talking about a high of 31 in Dallas. Now we're talking 40 in, say, Austin area. And that colder air will start to intrude into, say, Houston now, where we still have widespread 70s. Down here in the southeast, and especially Florida, you're still looking at 80 degrees. And a lot of that colder air is still the Arctic, the true Arctic air is still bottled up to the north into teens and 20s and below zero. These are high temperatures on Thursday. So as we continue moving across on Friday morning, that rain and snow line continues to lift off into the northeast, spreading some more ice now into Virginia, places in the Carolinas, as you get into portions of West Virginia and Virginia, more transfer to more to snow. Here's your darker reds are your freezing ice, your oranges are your sleet, and your blues are your snow, and then of course the green is rain. So as this continues moving across, and you can see a very active cross-polar flow into Washington, Oregon, Nevada, get into Wyoming, Colorado, Nebraska. So this is just a very active pattern that's coming up and playing out. By the time we get into Friday afternoon, you can see that Arctic air really starts to sink a little bit further south. You don't even get above freezing now in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. That Arctic air continues to move further south. Here's Oklahoma. You're talking teens. These are afternoon temperatures on Friday, February the 12th. You're talking teens as afternoon temperatures in Oklahoma City. You won't even get possibly above zero, possibly in places like Kansas, even portions of Missouri, even below zero high temperatures for Nebraska, Iowa, get into the Dakotas. So this is some serious Arctic air building, and that will continue to shift, funnel a little bit further south every single day we go throughout the week. And as we get that combination of between now, Monday, and Friday afternoon, here is your ice. There's your ice storm right now. That'll be taking place over basically starting portions of it Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So for the next 4 days, here's your ice setup and portions of the Texas Panhandle, getting near the Dallas-Fort Worth area, Oklahoma, going into northern Arkansas, southern Missouri, getting into Kentucky, portions of Tennessee, and this moves into West Virginia as well. So this whole banding here has an ice threat, and there's a little bit of potential of ice up here in portions of Washington and Oregon as well. But as we continue moving across, now we're going to get into your weekend. All right. So as we go into the weekend, things start to get really active for the south. We talked about it. That southern jet is going to start getting really active. By the time Saturday morning rolls around, the 13th, we've got that snow really starting to break out in Colorado, into New Mexico, into the Texas Panhandle. More snow for you guys in Oklahoma, getting into Kansas, getting into Nebraska. This snow line will continue to shift south as that Arctic air shifts south, transferring maybe sleet in, say, Lubbock areas now. Freezing rain a little bit further south. It's still all rain to the south and portions of the southeast. Now, as we get into the day, these are afternoon on Saturday, the 13th, we see a big snowfall breaking out in the Texas Panhandle. You could be getting some heavier snow now into Oklahoma, into Kansas. I mean, look at the 1040 Arctic high pressure. We've got sleet heavily over the Dallas-Fort Worth area. We've got freezing rain just south of you guys, say possibly in Austin area. As this continues moving across, even freezing rain breaking out into Louisiana by then. And look at your high now. This is your true Arctic front that comes in Saturday. As this front comes in Saturday, these are afternoon temperatures. 0Z is 6 o'clock on Saturday afternoon, February the 13th. We're talking 16 degrees, probably maybe below zero temperatures. This is some true Siberian Arctic air that's on the way. Some of the coldest air we've seen in many years, going to affect a huge chunk of the United States as this continues moving further south. You can see as it moves further south, it's still not intruding the southeast yet. I mean, this colder air pushes south first and then east, okay? And then we're expanding all the way here in Washington and Oregon and Nevada, get into Idaho. I mean, look at these single digits, even below zero, 20 below here. These are afternoon temperatures, guys. These aren't even lows. These are afternoon temperatures. This is some major cold that is on the way with this Arctic front. And as we continue the overnight on the Saturday, getting into Sunday morning, as the cold air continues to press, probably reaching all the way down into Brownsville now, we'll start to see more snow and ice setups all the way down to the deep south. I mean, how often do you see a 1040 Arctic high pressure by El Paso. This is a rare event, guys. And then as this comes through, we'll start to have some heavier snow now into Missouri, get into Illinois. That sleet and freezing line will continue to push further south into Mississippi, getting into portions of Tennessee. Kentucky could be inundated with a severe ice storm by then. By the time we're talking into overnight on Saturday, as this continues moving across, and we still got rain for the southeast. And as this continues moving across into your afternoon on Sunday, that cold air will continue to press. I mean, look at that, 1090, 1023, all the way into the Mexico border. As this shifts up to the northeast, yeah, you can see how active it is, guys. I mean, as this shifts up to the northeast, we've got snow breaking out in Wisconsin. We've got snow breaking out into Michigan, and then heavier snow and ice into the Virginias, getting into the northeast, where we still have more snow. And then on the backside, we've got, more snow breaking out into Arizona, getting into New Mexico. And here, as that cold air continues to press, I mean, these are your afternoon temperatures on Valentine's Day. These are like noontime temperatures. We're talking 10 degrees. I mean, this could be some of the coldest Arctic air outbreak we've seen in a very long time, years. I know the last time, say, the Dallas-Fort Worth area even reached negative numbers below zero was back in 1989. So it's been almost 30 years potentially you've seen possibly this kind of cold, and it definitely has that potential. We have a west-based negative NAO. We have a ridge building in Alaska. We got that funnel effect with just a classic Siberian Express coming down to the U.S., and that will shift all the way down to the south, and we get blocked, and we could be below freezing for days. I mean, these are afternoon high temperatures. I mean, below zero potentially in Oklahoma City, as that true Arctic air now finally settles down to the surface, and you get the real impact of this Arctic outbreak. And these 20s go all the way down to the south. And then what's going to be missing out is Florida. So if you don't like the cold and you want to get away from it, hang out in Florida this week, because it's going to be 85 degrees by the time Valentine's Day rolls around. So you're not going to be impacted from this Arctic outbreak. And as we continue into Monday, and as that cold air continues to shift, I mean, how often do you see sleet in Brownsville? Okay, so that's what's on the table, guys, as this Arctic air will be in place, and we have troughs coming across. We'll have snow and ice and sleet setups all the way down into the deep south. And look at the wind chills. I mean, could be historic. I mean, we're talking teens wind chills, negative. I mean, this is a rare event, potentially, with that wind from the north, cold Arctic air, snow, ice, sleet. It's just not a pretty setup. And we're talking teens below zero, potentially wind chills. I mean, 40 to 50 below in Illinois and Iowa. Okay, so this could be, some of the coldest air you've seen in a very long time, and feels like too. I mean, you get frostbite in 10 minutes in this type of situation. So this is something that you need to make sure your heater's properly working. And if you have to leave the house, definitely run the heater. I mean, you got to drip the faucets. I mean, you're not used to driving in this stuff. I mean, here's your snow. I mean, here's your snow setup for the next 7 days. You can see the snow band over North Texas, getting into the Texas Panhandle. Some of the heavier snows, I mean, picking up 8 to 10 inches easily in Oklahoma, going into Kansas, going into Missouri, get into Illinois and Indiana and Ohio. More heavy snow for Washington, D.C. as we come up the coast. I mean, these reds, you can look, is 8, 10, 12 inches of snow. Some of these pinks are, 12, 15 inches. Here's your latest European model. Still, it has more heavier snows into the Texas Panhandle, going to the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And then that snows move across, so the Ohio Valley, getting up into the Northeast. So you're just adding to those totals into the Northeast, where it continues. It could literally snow every single day from Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday for the Northeast. So it's a very active pattern coming across. Here's your freezing line. Here's your freezing rain for the next 7 days. We got sporadic freezing rain over Texas, getting into where that ice storm was going to play out that we showed you earlier, getting into the Virginias. And like I said, there's some freezing rain into places like Oregon as well. But look, check out the sleet. I mean, look at Texas. I mean, it's pretty much the entire state's closed, right? I mean, if you got historic, Arctic air, you got snow coming in, you got sleet coming in, you got freezing rain coming in, this is not going to melt. So, like I said, if it comes in on Saturday and Sunday, by the time Monday morning rolls around with that ice pack, it is not out of the question that you could be picking up some below zero temperatures in North Texas. That would be historic and something you have not seen since 1989. So this is definitely a big event that is on the table. I appreciate you guys watching. Do stay with me. I'll stay with you with the latest. I'll be updated on this event every single morning, so definitely be looking out for updates. I appreciate you guys watching. Do like this video. Definitely leave your comments below. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel to catch the latest update where I protect you before and after the storm.